It is Saturday night once again. This is the Overnight Mouse Party. I'm Dean Foss, and tonight we've got G Webs. How's it going, G Webs?
Fair to Midland. I have a comment about the introduction, the slideshow of the introduction.
Yes.
I was watching the slideshow in the introduction of all the slides of that battle that happened between the robot mice and robot frogs. And I just want to say, with all the CGI and everything, I still like the book better. The book was more authentic.
And I guess I forgot to adjust the volume because that was a little bit loud. Sorry about that.
I've gone louder. I've gone louder later.
And Guns and Barbecue, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for the invite.
Appreciate you being here. Giz or Gary, have you finished your apple or potato or whatever you were chewing on?
It was an apple. Thank you. And yes, I have finished it. And thank you for having me.
And I have a slight cold I'm getting over, so volume may be a problem at some times, so please bear with me. And linked at the top of the chat is a link for this week's poll. If you haven't voted in the poll, head over there and we'll take a look at it here in just a little bit. I finished one of the P320s. I put a post up, which I probably should have waited till morning, put it up, but I took a picture of it. So in the community tab or whatever they call it now, there's a picture of it, or you can see it right there. It was supposed to be 40 caliber, but I ordered the wrong slide, and I didn't realize it until I got one of the barrels in. So apparently I ordered a 9mm slide, so it's now 9mm.
Why don't you just drill the hole bigger to a decent size?
Yeah, just Dremel it out.
Yeah, gunsmithing.
Make it a 44 mag. Come on.
So I still have, that's the X carry, and there's still an X compact that I need a slide. And this barrel was supposed to be the barrel for the other one, but I threw it in that.
When you make it a 9mm, do you have to spell the carry part of that with an I?
With a K. So it'll probably be a little bit before I finish the other one, but I'm supposed to go to the range in the morning, so I'll probably take both the grip frames, and then I can put the slide on both of them. Try them out. But there's that. And I was thinking about, because I've got this X10 frame that I'm not going to use. thought about doing a giveaway, but I don't know if anybody wants it. So it's going to get, what does everybody think? Should I give this away? Is it worth giving away? Give it away now.
Probably $11 to ship that nowadays.
But I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. There's out of the 4 bad anti-gun bills in Washington that were bouncing around, only 2 of them made them out of their committee. One is unfortunately the purchase permit, and the other one I think is expanded. What the hell? Like safe zones or whatever.
Gun-free zones.
Gun-free zones. Thank you. Which they, if that is the one that made it out of committee, they did put a proviso for CPL holders. But
that's stupid. So I feel like if the gun-free zones is the only thing they got to stand on, and that's the one that, I mean, that's a weak leg to stand on, and that's the one that got passed, that's not looking good.
I was kind of surprised that only 2 of them, but the other 2, I don't remember what they are. But with the way it is now, they're not dead because they can still. There's like 2 years that they can be brought back. So that this year and next year. So
Are
it's
these ballot initiatives again?
No.
Oh, these you just said they come out of committee. So these are stupid representatives that have decided we need to do more to Washington right now.
Yes. So they can be brought back next year. Telus is saying they can be. He's in Washington, saying they can be brought back every year. I thought it was just 2, but they might. Because I had heard they made a change to the way they do stuff, but
it should be a fairly easy one to combat because gun-free zones haven't proven to be effective anywhere, and there's all kinds of reasons why gun-free zones are stupid. So it's such a simple, at this point in 2025, an argument, a good null argument for the most part. The fact that they're able to get that one through in Washington is frustrating. I don't mean to say that it's like doomed or anything. It's just that it means that Washington is susceptible to stuff still.
yeah.
And the Second Amendment Foundation being housed there, they should be one of the states where, gun stuff is a non-issue. Not because the Second Amendment Foundation can yell loud, but they should be doing education there. It's a massive waste of opportunity.
So that's for Washington. That's kind of what's been going on. Okay, so yeah. So every 2 years they have to reintroduce the bill if it doesn't make it out of committee. And he said a little earlier, Tello said, put paperwork for KSG 12. Ah. Nice.
Sounds fancy.
Nobody needs that many barrels.
Well, it still only has 1 barrel. It just has.
Well, how about nobody needs that many tubes then?
There you go. Can't have too many tubes. I think there was something else I had heard anti-gun wise, but I don't recall what it was. It was for a different state than mine. Tello said he wants a BAR MK3 too sometime. Semi-auto 308.
I don't know what that is.
Let me see. It's semi-auto rifle, but it doesn't have a external magazine. And here I'll show you a picture of it. It looks like that. Oops. You get 10% off any order over $75 at Bass Pro. But and later we'll do a bracket. After the chat last week, excuse me, what are you doing?
So back-to-back brackets. 1, is it legal? But 2, I thought your bracket machine is all weak and feeble. Is this going to destroy it? Is this going to cause it to crumble? All the metal on it to just implode?
I thought this was a bracket-free zone.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I added a little extra duct tape on it. So
I think the time change will probably allow it to go ahead and fall into place since it's not exactly the same time as last week. You got to take that into consideration.
But after the chat last week, I got pressured by the panel to do female voices since we had done male voices. And they threatened to pick it if I didn't. And rather than hiring goons to come break up their strike, I decided we'll go ahead and do a female voice bracket.
So we have to talk in female voices now?
Well, you can if you want.
Did you still hire the goons and just had them do something else then?
Well, we're working on the lawn. Having them goon
Excellent.
up the lawn. I got mole problems, so they're out there chasing moles.
Did you give them rubber mallets?
No, baseball bats. Come on, get serious.
That's not a proper whack-a-mole.
Wood
tool.
bats
Come
or
on.
aluminum bats? I mean,
Wood bats.
Oh, okay, real bats. All right.
Yeah. But let me get that live up. There we go. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah.
Justin had a good point in the comments of our chat here.
Oh, do you need a license or permit to run a bracket in Washington? Not yet. Not yet.
As long as no wagering takes place.
Oh, yeah. The governor, Gregoire, so a couple governors ago, she pushed. She apparently really didn't like online gambling, so you can't online gamble in Washington from Washington. I don't know, something like that. And I think it was her that also pushed for forced other states to charge our sales tax if someone from Washington buys from another state online. But she when they legalized suppressors in Washington, she actually signed the bill to make them legal, which was surprising. But, I guess we can take a look at this week's poll. Oh, hang on here. Let me stop that, cancel that. Let me get the banner going. I remember the banner this week. At the bottom of the screen is an email address, untactedfuss@gmail.com, and a link for the Discord server. Place to share memes and pictures and stuff like that. And if you post pictures of guns, put it in the Gorn section. The firearm sections, yeah, I mean, it's not illegal. I mean, you're not going to get punished if you do it. But Gorn section is more for gorning out on guns. And then the firearms is more miscellaneous, I guess. I don't know. They're not clearly defined. There's like the ones I did was kind of the progression of the SIGs that I was doing. And then the final picture will go in the Gorn section. That way, in the future, when we go through, we can go through the Gorn section and look at all the pictures once we've accumulated more pictures.
And just to clarify, you did say Gorn.
Yes, Gorn.
So that's
gun
the
porn.
only thing you want in there. Okay.
Yes.
Just
Which
let's clarify.
I know for the techies, Gorn is gear porn, but for the gun community, Gorn is gun porn.
Could be girl porn.
We were looking. Let me get back to that. Let me get the comments up. There we go. We were looking at the poll. This week's poll. So it was, how many concerts have you attended, not including school, band, or church concerts? 0 to 2, 3 to 5, and I know that should have been 6 to 10. I realized it after somebody had voted, and there's no way to change it without deleting it. So I just left it up. So 5 to 10 or 11 or more. 33% said 11 or more. 31% said 0 to 2. 21% is 3 to 5. And 14% was 5 to 10. And looking at the comments.
Did you refresh
X Adam
that?
1. What's that?
Did you refresh that?
Oh, no, I didn't. Let me do that. Let me refresh that. There we go. Oh, and then I have to go to newest first. Otherwise, it doesn't. It wouldn't have shown yours. So Vanessa Kitty said Moody Blues in the late 70s with my oldest brother. Concert held on the green at Barksdale Air Force Base in 1982. Chris Lang, 5 to 10 that I can remember. X Adam 1, Skid Row. It was a couple of years ago, and it was pretty bad audio. Unscrupulous Rapscallion, which is Mr. Bob Davalina. ZZ Top, Charlie Daniels, Leonard Skinner with Ronnie Van Zant. Aerosmith, Kiss, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Alice Cooper, Black Oak, Arkansas, Steely Dan, yes, Star Castle, Pink Floyd, Blue Oyster Cult, Jethro Tull, Bob Seger, Mahogany Rush, Brewer and Shipley, Eric Clapton, John Mellencamp, Tom Petty, Steve Winwood, Black Sabbath, Slade, Living Colour, Rolling Stones, Ringo Starr's All-Star Band, Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker, Flo and Eddie, B.B. King, Little Feat, April Wine, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Rob Zombie, Judas Priest, The Eagles, Joe Walsh, Don Henley, Bonnie Raitt, Thin Lizzy, and Van Halen. That's 40 I could come up with over a cup of coffee. I'm sure there were others, but the 70s were a blast.
Well, I just remembered to add one. I forgot. Wow.
PNW Nature Dudes at a minimum of 20 within the last 12 months. Tim Allen, not many actually. When I was younger, I was too lazy to work to earn money to go. Now that I'm older, I don't want to be around that many random people or that much noise. In between, I was too broke because of being married with a family or making bad life decisions to be able to afford to go. Sergeant Joe Smith, like over 100 in my life, I hung out backstage with bands like 15, 20 times, concerts in 4 states. Gizzard Gary, Kansas 6 times, Styx, Pat Benatar, Creed, Foreigner, 38 Special, Loverboy, Triumph, Summer Jam 80. Oh, were those all at the...
Yes, they were all in one
Oh,
concert.
okay. Well, that counts as one concert then.
Right.
Diamond Rio, Judas Priest, Kick Axe, Lone Star twice, A Collective Soul, Matchbox 20, Semisonic, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Shooting Star. That's some bands I wouldn't have expected you to go see.
And you can throw in Three Dog Night because I forgot that one.
And Three Dog Night.
So which ones did you not expect me to see? Earth, Wind, and Fire? That was my
Collective
first concert
Soul.
ever. Oh, Collective Soul is killer,
Yeah.
man. I saw them at a small venue up in the capital city here. And yeah, they kicked ass. I love Collective Soul.
I saw Def Leppard at the Gorge in George. Outdoor theater overlooks a gorge. It's really, really pretty. Ugly Kid Joe opened for them. They sucked. Richie Sambora. Saw Alice in Chains.
I'm jealous.
And Sister River, whatever, something opened for them. I don't remember. They were a band that was almost kind of just about popular and then seemed to disappear. I don't remember them at all. I know they opened, but I don't remember who they were. See, I know there was other ones. I went to it back in high school. It was a music festival, kind of Christian artists. I can't remember anybody except the one guy that I can't remember his name. So that one dude.
We used to have a live music venue right here in this city where it's kind of like a country Opry style thing. And we had like local talent and stuff like that. So I don't think they really counted. So
Michael W. Smith. That's the only guy that I can remember from that.
I figured you'd give me grief for Lone Star. Because, yeah, there are a couple country acts thrown in there.
I don't hate country. So I don't, I just don't listen to country.
Yeah, Diamond Rio was pretty good. The best one of the bunch, probably Styx.
I'm thinking there's at least one more concert, but I can't think of who it was. I know I wanted to see Steve Perry, but I couldn't go. And around the same time, Steve Miller, I wanted to go to his concert, but I couldn't make that one either.
And at least half those were outdoor concerts.
The Alice in Chains was at the First Avenue Theater, which is kind of the big older style theater, had a balcony, huge chandelier that was just rocking as they played. I saw Les Mis there. Les Miserables.
Now the
Uh,
Summer Jam '82 was in Arrowhead Stadium, so that was a big.
wow.
It's the only time I've ever been on a field at Arrowhead.
Yeah, Sambora was at the Moore Theater, which is a smaller theater, which was kind of nice. It's a little more intimate feeling to it.
Well, at least one of the times I saw Kansas was in a casino. So it's a small theater in a casino. So
Uh, oh, I guess we lost barbecue.
he gets lost.
Yeah, I
So
was just about
yeah,
to ask him.
I've seen in great big venues. Some of those are like in basically bars. So both times I saw Lone Star was in a bar. This is before they got big. Matchbox 20 was in St. Louis, believe it or not.
I see Vulcan Rumble said Arthur Fedler, Boston Pop's 4th of July concert.
Oh, Justin Grimm got to see Lifehouse. Damn. Yeah, Diamond Rio was a free concert. It was put on by one of the radio stations up in Topeka, but they were giving away tickets. You just had to go to the store where they were giving them away. So,
Oh, he saw Kiss too, also.
oh, I would have loved to have seen Kiss.
Ozzy Osbourne said he's like you, too many to count. Late 70s was awesome. Oh, I know G Webs has seen Grateful Dead. Have you been to any other concerts? Stop doing that. I don't know why it does that. Did we lose you? Did you fall asleep? Taking the dogs out?
He's muted anyway.
Well, we'll see if he comes back. Ozzy said Kiss was his first concert, 1976. Oh, I had always heard that they're more of a concert band, where that's the way to see them. And Justin Grimm was 10 years later seeing Kiss in 86.
You can probably still see him now if you want to see him rolling out on wheelchairs and stuff like that. That's a problem with a lot of these old bands. They're still touring, but they've got replacements and stuff like that. They're not the same. And they're probably using backing tracks now.
Yeah. I don't. For me, concerts now are just way too expensive. I'm not going to spend, $100 to see anybody.
There, Mr. Bob. Everybody but me saw Kiss. That's not fair.
I have not seen Kiss. I remember when I was a little boy, and my dad took me to the tavern. I was sitting on the pool table, and the Kiss movie came on the TV. It wasn't not at the bar, but at home, because I had used the payphone to call my sister. She's 3 years older than me, and she was excited because the Kiss movie was on TV. Justin said he lost his hearing for a week. It was so loud. Oh, are you back, G-Webs? Oh, he might have closed his
Hmm.
eyes.
Whoop.
Yeah.
There you are.
There he is.
What happened? What was the question?
Oh, concerts. What you? I know you've seen the Dead, Grateful Dead. Any other concerts you've been to?
Oh yeah, I couldn't even count them. Many, many, many.
Such as.
Ooh, I don't even know. I started out going to them whenever I figured out I could, and then I just kept going to them. So, I mean, I don't even know. Like bands wise, like I don't even know, but even just the sample of types or whatever. I've been to a lot of different types of stuff. I enjoyed eclectic, I guess I call it, like stuff. And then once I figured out that there was more than whatever was the top 40 type of music, I just started enjoying exploring. Plus, concerts are different. You know, if you go to like a big giant, I don't know, 3 day celebration of something versus, you know, a band who's like kind of taking it easier, maybe before they've hit it off or something, and they're just doing a small show. Like those are both interesting in different ways, I guess I say. Like, you know, they're both fun in their own ways. I'll say that most of my concerts were probably pre 19, well, in the 1900s, let's put it that way for sure. But like, you know, when I was a kid, basically.
Oh, so
But you count if you went to like a basketball. No, I think it was in a theater. Like if you went to a theater for plays, but instead of doing plays, they played with by the Wizard of Oz with on the movie, and then is it Dark Side of the Moon or whatever the Pink Floyd album is at the same time, and then they did lasers and stuff. But you know, Pink Floyd matches completely with what do you call that?
yeah, I
Wizard of
had a
Oz,
friend.
like, 3 different places.
I had a friend that had a VHS that he synced up with.
What would you call that? A concert? Because it's
No,
songs and it's a presentation, but it's recorded and there's no music. You know, there's nobody doing anything.
I would say no, especially this is one. Yeah, not in this context. I wouldn't count that. And the can't remember who it was. Roger Waters swears that he didn't do that. It's just coincidence, but it really does match up, and it matches up because the movie's longer than the album, so it matches up through the album, and then second time through, it still does kind of, but not as well as the first time through the album. Homesteading with Soulless Ginger said, I've only been to one concert. It was Stained, POD, Taproot, Flyleaf.
I don't know if it's the same now or if I'm making this up, but it seems like before the internet there was a different. Well, I don't even know what it's like nowadays, but there was, you know, a reason to go to a concert. Or I should say more than one reason to go to a concert. So you'd go to a concert, but you'd also be hanging out with a bunch of, you know, if you go to a Metallica concert, you're hanging out with Metallica people. If you go to,
Yeah.
you know, some kind of opera or something, you're going to hang out with opera people. You know, it was a way to find and hang out with people that were, you know, similar to your style or whatever. And then all the other stuff like T-shirts and things like that, you couldn't just go buy that stuff in the old days. Like, you know, there might be a record store in town, but they wouldn't have the tour T-shirts or the brand merchandise that you could get at the shows.
I do kind of miss going to the record store and flipping through records and tapes and CDs and stuff. But I don't know if that's just I like to rummage.
Well,
I
same
like
thing.
going.
Like when you go to a record store, that's where you'd figure out where a concert was, and you'd know, other things going on. But now you got the internet to tell you all that stuff.
We
Thank-
usually hear it on radio stations and stuff like that. They'd tell you what concerts were coming up.
The Saint said the production, light shows, lasers, and huge screens at concerts is pretty incredible these days.
Oh yeah, I bet. Another reason to go to a concert rather than just like, oh, I've heard this song before.
It's like I was saying, like I've heard that Kiss is more of a concert band where they sound better. Concert. There's
I could consider a concert band one where they don't care if their song sounds the same every time, and then you go to a concert to hear the differences between the songs. Like some bands like Metallica, they didn't do nothing. I've seen Metallica play, and that was like watching a dead fish lay there. Like they go out there and they play, and then they leave. And you might as well just play the Metallica song off a CD or whatever. But then you go to other bands, and they're different every single time you hear them. Like they live for traveling, or what do you call that, touring. But some people don't like it when you hear a song and it's different every time. You know what I mean? That's not some people's flavor or style.
I don't know. There's some. Overall, I prefer the album versions over a live version, but there are some live versions which are just, there's just something about them that, and I can't, of course, I can't name them off the top of my head, but I know there are some songs which I like the live version better. Just there's more to it for some reason.
Well, something like Tool or like electric music, it doesn't seem like I'd care about watching that live. But I don't know. I never watched a band like that live.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So like Daft Punk or someone like that. Would that? I don't know. That one you just might need to be in a big crowd on Molly or something.
Well, and I get the impression that they do a different thing each time, right? Like they're creating it, and they don't care if it's different every time. Sort of the whole point.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I don't know because I've only been to just a handful of concerts, and that that was back in the 90s.
Oh, somebody said something that Ginger, I guess, said being poor. Back in the olden days, you would get. I guess there was expensive tickets, but most of the time the price wasn't an issue. Like tickets were always less than $50 or $20, kind of depending on when. But at least the concerts I've been to, I could probably, of all the concerts I've been to my whole life, I could probably buy all the tickets for $1,000. Like, most of those tickets were under $20, or if it was $20, it was like for a 3-day situation or something.
I don't know.
We would go to a Dead show. We didn't even have tickets. You just go to a Dead show because it was the Dead were in town. So that was more like going to a traveling carnival or something and just hanging out in the parking lot.
By the time you hit the 2000s, like the Stones are $150 at least.
There's no way. Yeah, that would be crazy. I'd expect something out of a concert if it was $150, right? Like a free T-shirt or something.
Free hookers.
Oh. Yeah, is that experience $150? Come on. Like for $150 is probably what it cost us, like gas and food, and like for a whole weekend of going out and seeing somebody back in the day.
Bob said Marshall Tucker 24 hours at a time or Almost Brothers shopping list has better live version than studio.
What's a Marshall Tucker song?
I don't know. I know of them, but I don't really know Marshall Tucker band. Oh,
usually bands like that have songs that
I know there's at least one one Marshall Tucker song which I know and that I cannot think of. Because I know there's at least one that I know.
Heard It in a Love Song?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of like Tim Allen now, where there is something about being in the large crowd and that shared experience. Because like that's one of the things I liked about going to baseball games is being in the crowd and everybody's cheering, and for the most part everybody's into it in the same way, and kind of to some to maybe a lesser extent, like going to movies in a movie theater. You've got the large screen, plus everybody's oohing and eyeing and sighing all at the same time at the same thing. It
I
kind
don't
of
know. If I go to a
adds to the
movie, I don't
experience.
want to know there's other people there. But if I go to a concert, then like you're saying, I agree that's part of the experience. But like I don't mind it at a concert. But I'm trying to think. Like there's been very few times, even though I've been to a lot of them, where somebody's been like annoying. But like it doesn't take much to be annoying at a movie, like ruin it for everybody. I can still think whatever. I can't remember the movie anymore, but I went to one where somebody was eating something out of like some kind of food they brought with out of tinfoil behind me. So having to listen to tinfoil behind you, and then somebody eating something with like a fork out of there. Where at a concert, worst that'll happen is somebody smoking something next to you that stinks, like a cigarette.
I've had taken my son when he was little to movies, and there were a few times where there'd be a mentally handicapped kid that was being kind of loud, but I don't want to be mad at him because it's good for him to be out. You can't just keep him at home. It's for me, it's basically a minor inconvenience, and the kid gets to be out and enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's slightly annoying, but I understand.
Change with cell phones. That makes an interesting point. Like there's probably everybody recording everything nowadays, so you got to watch a stupid cell phone. I was at a movie where somebody was texting the whole time, and they were like holding their phone so that they didn't bother their husband or like their boyfriend or whatever. So like she's shining the phone at me the whole time. Like, hey, thanks, you're really polite to that dude, but like I've got to see a freaking phone like wiggling out of the corner of my eye the whole movie. So yeah, it's got to be a factor where there's like pretty much everybody in front of you and everybody behind you is filming you, and everybody in front of you is you're seeing their phones filming the band or whatever.
Yeah, what happened to the good old days of just making out in the back of the theater?
Yeah, there's always weirdos,
especially in the back row of the drive-in. Yeah.
Mr. Knives is out there. Good evening,
Mr. Knives. Has Mr. Knives tried the Dubai chocolate bar? Have you guys ever tried a Dubai chocolate bar? You seen the viral Dubai chocolate?
I am not familiar with it.
Oh, really? It's a candy bar that is, what do you call it when there's a candy bar with stuff in it? Like, so it's, I'm trying to think of a candy bar that has stuff in it like that. Anyway, it's like a candy bar with stuff in it, like, that has places for stuff to be in the candy bar. So it's like a filled candy bar. And it's filled with some sort of, I don't think it's coconut, but it looks like coconut, but I think it's something else. Maybe a nut of some kind, but not coconut. Like toasted coconut, it looks like, though. And then imagine mixing toasted coconut or something that looks a lot like it with the butter made by smushing up pistachios, I think. Is the pistachios the green nut?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you made peanut butter out of pistachios and then mix that with like a toasted coconut, except it's not toasted coconut, it's something else, and then you put that inside of a chocolate bar. So when you go to eat it, it's green peanut butter, right, made out of pistachios. But then It's got like a crunchiness of a toasted coconut in there, and then inside of a chocolate. Would that be something you'd eat or no?
It doesn't sound good to me.
It's all about that stuff that's not toasted coconut. Like I don't know what that stuff is. It's kind of like I don't know if it's a noodle or what it is, but it gives it a crunch. Have you ever had a chocolate with salted potato chips in it?
Yeah, no. I had one with cornflakes.
Oh, well, I guess that'd be similar. I suspect it's something like that though, where it's maybe salty and then unique because of the mouthfeel because it's crunchy. I tried buying some pistachio butter instead of peanut butter, and I didn't really like it. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't be good in small doses inside of chocolate.
I've never seen one before.
You can get it at Walmart. I got it at Walmart, and it's not that good.
Wow.
So Dubai chocolate bars are actually made in Turkey.
See
Interesting.
it though? What does it look like? Does it look any better now that you see it instead of hearing me?
Well,
talking?
I'd try it.
I can't wait to try one. I just haven't seen one in front of me to be able to buy one yet.
I'm not sure what's in it. It's talking about something called kunafa.
That's the crunchy stuff, probably. And I don't know what that is.
It
It
is
sounds good.
kunafa. It's a traditional Arab dessert made with kadayif, which is spun pastry dough layered with cheese and soaked in a sweet sugar-based syrup. Interesting.
Justin Grimm said he wants to try the new PB&J Reese's.
I'll pass. I don't like jelly.
I don't like Reese's.
Nah, not a fan.
Because of the Reese's or because of the jelly?
All of the above.
I'll eat Reese's almost anything.
I don't know. I just don't like them. I don't like or hate peanut butter. I've eaten it. I'm not against eating it. It's just it's not something that I look forward to eating. I do like peanut butter cookies though.
You've had any other butters? Cashew butter or macadamia nut or any other kind?
I don't think so.
None of those appeal to you?
I just have never had a reason to buy it and try it.
Add cocoa butter. Like white chocolate is pretty much what that is.
Well, you know what I mean. Like they make any kind of nut you can make into a peanut butter.
I just don't think I've ever tried it. I wouldn't be opposed to trying it. I guess I just haven't had a chance to.
Cashew is amazing. Some of the others are okay. There's another one that everyone's had. You don't think about it. Hazelnut or something. Like there's some kind of hazelnut in a jar that people eat.
Oh, Nutella?
Is that what it is?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Well, that's with chocolate
Yeah,
But
it's mixed in.
or cocoa.
But it's kind of like peanut butter and chocolate mix, but made out of hazelnuts, right?
Yeah, I do like
Or I've eaten
hazelnut.
it in stuff, I suppose. I haven't ever bought a jar of it or anything. So there's never going to be a nut bracket.
No, Jacob can handle that.
What happened to barbecue?
I don't know. He disappeared when we were talking about the poll.
Maybe he has never been to a concert.
I think he has, but he might have maybe one of his kids got up or something. He had to go take care of. Mr. Knives is asking peanut butter breath versus onion breath. I would say onion breath is worse. And Just Grib said, candy bar I haven't had in forever is a Zero bar.
You have to freeze those for them to be really good.
I mainly stick to the Three Musketeers. That's probably my favorite. And either the Crunch or Crackle bar. I like both those. Mounds and Almond Joy. I like those. But that's probably candy bar wise. Those are the ones that I buy. I don't mind like Kit Kat. If there's some Kit Kats laying around, I'll eat Kit Kat.
So a Zero bar is a Milky Way, it looks like, except with white chocolate instead of dark chocolate, or instead of milk chocolate on the outside. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, it's white.
But it says it's got like when I'm looking at one busted in half on the internet, it looks like a Milky Way. It's got like nougat and caramel,
Right.
but white chocolate.
Right. But we used to always freeze them, then we bust them into pieces.
I'm guessing I never ate one, I guess, then. Because I don't remember eating a white chocolate candy bar.
They're pretty good.
I've never had one either.
Oh, no, there's something in the nougat, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Chewy caramel, crunchy peanuts, and fluffy almond nougat, covered in a smooth white fudge.
Oh, white fudge.
Now I want a Zero bar. Thanks.
Oh, what was the last candy bar that you've eaten?
Last candy bar. Holy crap. I don't even know when the last candy bar I ate was.
Yeah, I'm not even sure about that. It's been a long time.
You would have to, if you count the tiny ones, it's going to have to be a tiny one because I can't imagine the last time I bought a candy bar. I'm super cheap. Like candy bars cost more than $1 now. There's no way I'm paying more than $1 for candy. I think it's like $3 now or something crazy. I think I was seeing Reese's stuff at the counter last where I focused on it and I was like, holy crap. Because Reese's like might have a chance of making me want to buy one when I'm sitting there waiting in line or whatever. Like any other candy bar, like I don't even think about eating a candy bar. But a Reese's, like, no, I might eat a Reese's, like peanut butter cup or something. But as soon as I see that they cost like over $2, I'm like, yeah, right. Some kind of crazy YouTube video or something, like trying to get people's reaction to $3 Reese's peanut butter cups.
Justin Grimm said his favorite are Snickers, whatchamacallit, and whatchamacallit. I wish I could get a box of the Twix cookies. Just the cookie.
You can do that. All you got to do is buy a thing of Twix and start licking. You'll eventually have just a cookie. Like
the Saint said, I can see the SIG pistol build behind Foss. Oh, right there. Right there.
How do we know that it just ain't two candy bars jammed together?
Well, I'd go over and show you, but then they'll take my stream down.
Mm-hmm. And the peanuts would fall off.
Ozzy said chocolate covered payday was my last.
Can you remember when they came out with whatchamacallit? I feel like I can remember. Maybe when they just started marketing it. Maybe it has been older than I thought. But whenever I first learned about it, I was like hooked. I'm like, that's it. That's my favorite new candy bar ever. It's like a Rice Krispie treat with peanut butter. Oh, you probably don't like it because it's got peanut butter in there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even had one.
Oh, snap. It's like, I think that's the way to call it, right? Like a peanut butter, or I mean a Reese's, like a Rice Krispie treat. Have you ever had a Rice Krispie treat where somebody stuck peanut butter in there?
No.
I've had that before. It's not necessarily good or anything, but I wouldn't do it. But unless you were putting it inside of something. But it's like you took and made Rice Krispie treats with some peanut butter in there, and then you put it inside the chocolate. But are they really Rice Krispies? I think it's something else. But then there might also be caramel in there. it's the kind of bar where you bite it and it snaps off when you eat it, and then it's crunchy. But at the same time, I think there's some caramel in there, and there's enough chocolate that it's not like eating a Rice Krispie treat. And it's, you know how when you eat a Rice Krispie treat, it usually bends and like it's
Yeah.
soft. These are not soft; they're crispy for sure. Like it's an old stale Rice Krispie treat or something. Like it's a crispy thing.
They came out in 78,
Yeah,
1978.
then it can't be when they first. Well, I guess I was technically alive when they first came out, but I guess I remember making maybe in '87. It says the candy was modified to include caramel peanut butter crisp. Maybe then they did some kind of rebranding or something, and because I can remember when I first learned about it would have been about '87. You know, and I've been minding my business, just eating Reese peanut butter cups and Hershey bars and stuff, and then they came out with this whatchamacallit, and I was like, what?
Well, I don't think that barbecue's going to come back. So,
He hates music. We know that part.
And
Yeah.
brackets.
so we'll go ahead.
Let's get it on!
And we'll call up the bracket. So the bracket is best female voice. Kind of like last week, where it's somewhat arbitrary based on criteria which I cannot explain, but kind of a clarity of voice, because there's lots of female voices which I like, but they're raspy or not great voice, but they're good singers, or I like, for whatever reason, I like the singers. But this is more based on the voice alone. There's Adele, Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, Grace Slick, Karen Carpenter, Whitney Houston, Judy Garland, Beyonce, Christine Aguilera, Debbie Harry. Should that be IE?
I.E.
IE?
DEBBY would be Debbie Boone. She doesn't deserve to be on this list.
Debbie Harry, Ann Wilson, Linda Ronstadt, Tina Turner. And that one was kind of I don't know about her, but I needed to fill out the bracket. Shania Twain, Carrie Underwood, and Olivia Newton-John.
Now I know why barbecue didn't show up.
So is there any of these that we want to change?
You somehow picked. There's only one person on this bracket I even like. Like you picked everybody that I didn't pick, or everybody that I suggested is not on here. Only there's only one person on here that I suggested.
I can't believe Macy Gray didn't make this list.
Oh, so I won't ask if we're happy with this, because I guess we're not going to be happy with it. But any of these you want to swap out for somebody else?
I would literally swap out 15 of them.
Well, you definitely got some different eras mixed in there. You're going all the way back to Judy Garland. Wow.
Yeah, I tried to get a good spread, and I made sure that there's a couple of country singers in here.
There is?
Shania Twain and Carrie Underwood.
Oh.
They're not, they're more modern pop country. But
So for people that don't know, it's like 5 seconds after the show ended last week, everybody just started throwing out female singers, and then for like a marathon 4-hour session, everybody was throwing out female singers, and then I guess it would turn into this bracket. But you probably had hundreds to choose from. So it's not like
There's quite a list. If you look at over at the in the bracket section of the Discord, you can see all the names that were put in there.
oh, that's right. There's like what's the word? Like you can see the notes of when they were putting them all together. So you can see all the people that were not picked.
So make sure this is good and shuffled.
This should be interesting.
All right. So the first matchup is Tina Turner versus Beyonce. G-Webs.
I would turn the channel on both of them. So Tina Turner, because I don't like Beyonce.
Tina Turner. Gary.
Which one do I like better, or which one's the best singer?
Which one has the better voice?
Probably Beyonce.
For Beyonce. The Saint said Yoko Ono. And Stevie Nicks. Oh, her vibrato style singing. Sometimes it just rubs me the wrong way. I'm going to have to go Beyonce. I'm not a Beyonce fan,
Either
but
one.
her voice is better than Tina Turner. Tina Turner's I think.
Oops. No.
I would rather, if I went to a concert, I would rather see Tina Turner.
Yes.
Beyonce, but
yes. That's the same predicament I
I
was
feel
in.
like Tina Turner had to grow up singing, where Beyonce had to grow up learning how to tune, software to make her sound the way she wants to sound in that album. But she doesn't have to sound good. Does Beyonce ever do like a cappella or whatever it's called, where they actually just sing? I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like Tina Turner actually sang her whole time, and then, they'd go into a studio and making a record, but she was singing the rest of the time. Nobody was fiddling with her voice, right?
Yeah, she had more soul in her voice, I think.
Definitely. Justin Grimm said the money's on Tina Turner. She can definitely take a better punch.
And has, or had.
It's true, she probably had a worse life than Beyonce.
Oh, so Beyonce's going to move forward. Ozzy said, just got to a point on a holster that I started at the beginning of Hillbilly's show that I have to stop and to dry. Cut, edge, stitch, groove, dye, stitch, hole, punch, snakeskin inlay glued. Ooh. Oops. Mr. Bob said Beyonce was excellent in the movie Chess Records. I'm not familiar with that one. But so now we've got Olivia Newton-John versus Debbie Harry. G-Webs.
Olivia Newton-John.
For Olivia Newton-John. Gary.
Yeah, I might go with Debbie Harry.
For Debbie Harry. I saw a video of Blondie when they were a punk band, and I think changing their style a little bit was a really good decision.
I thought they were always a punk band.
When they get into like the Tide is High and into that, their sound is a little bit different. They're not as punkish. Well, I'm gonna go. Ooh. This is kind of tough. think I'll go Debbie Harry. But I think that's a close one.
It is a close one. I think she had more power to her voice.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Oh, Mr. Bob said the movie was Cadillac Records. Still not familiar with it.
Nope.
So now Shania Twain versus Ann Wilson. G-Webs.
Heart.
One for Harp. Gary.
No contest, Ann Wilson.
Ann Wilson. Yeah.
In her day, she can't sing very well now.
Well, she's kind of like Debbie Harry, whereas she got older, her voice got a little deeper and a little bit of raspy, gave it kind of a smoky quality, which I like. But yeah, Dan Wilson.
She's not in the best of health right now, so.
The Saint said Ann Wilson broke her arm in a wheelchair and still singing. Justin Grimm said Heart for the win. So Grace Slick versus Aretha Franklin. G-Webs?
I will graciously give my vote to the audience.
So make sure you vote out there. Let me know, because G-Webs has given his vote to you out in the chat. So we'll go to Gary while we're waiting. Grace Slick or Aretha Franklin?
I'm going to have to give this one to Aretha.
Aretha.
I thought Grace Slick was just in James Bond. I didn't know she ever sang a song.
Huh?
Different person.
What?
Grace Slick is Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship.
Oh,
Grace Jones is who you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Bob said Aretha. I think Aretha is going to move on here because Ozzy and Justin. Yep. Aretha's going to move on here. Let me get there. 3 to there. So now Carrie Underwood versus Linda Ronstadt. G-Webs.
I live in Tucson, so I have to vote with Linda Ronstadt. Plus, I don't know who the other person is.
Gary.
Linda Ronstadt's possibly one of the best singers I ever heard in my life. So, yeah. And I like Carrie Underwood, but she's no Linda Ronstadt.
Vulcan Rebel said Russell Stover's chocolate-covered caramel egg. About 10 o'clock Eastern time.
What?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But okay. Ozzy said Underwood. Mr. Bob said Linda.
What's a song that Underwood has sung?
I couldn't tell you. She's a country singer, and I don't listen to country music. So,
Wiley Cheats.
She did during the was it the inauguration where she was going to sing a song, but the backing track didn't work. So she sang it a cappella, and she did a pretty good job. I don't know if it was God Bless America or something like that. But I'm going to vote Linda Ronstadt.
It's so easy.
Yeah, Blue Bayou. Justin Grimm said the one that doesn't beat the shit out of your truck. So now Adele versus Whitney Houston.
Wow. Battle of the Titans here.
G-Webs.
I have absolutely no opinion. So I have no opinion.
You have to pick
Adele.
one.
Adele.
Adele.
There, Wood said Adele. So there you go.
Gary.
I'm going with Adele.
Adele. And Wood said Adele. And Ozzy said Houston. Yeah, I will say Adele. Skyfall, the song, is better than Skyfall, the movie. I think I'm going to vote Adele. I was never a Whitney Houston fan. Justin Grimm said Whitney. So now Christina Aguilera versus Mariah Carey. G-Webs.
Christina Aguilera is the only one I picked on this whole chart. So I hope she takes it all the way to the end because she's the only one that can sing on this whole list.
I will disagree with that, but
She's the only one
Gary.
who blew the lyrics to the national anthem in front of a national audience. Let's go with Mariah Carey here.
Mariah Carey. I do like Christina Aguilera. I'm not a huge fan because of the runs she does while she's singing, but I do like her voice. Mariah Carey, what does she have? Like a three octave range? I think she has a better voice. Ozzy said Christina. Woods said Christina.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love for Mariah Carey out there in the audience.
Justin Grimm said, I'd rather you shoot me with your new gun than listen to Mariah's Christmas song.
She's okay,
yeah.
and her songs are fine. It's just that she's licensed them too much or whatever, and they're either free or people like them too much because, yeah, you hear them too much.
And again, this is just strictly based on the voice. I'm going to say Mariah Carey has a better voice. So now we've got Karen Carpenter versus Judy Garland. G-Webs.
No, I could care less again. Carpenter, I guess.
Going for Carpenter. Gary.
I grew up listening to Karen Carpenter. Yeah, fine voice.
Well, we all grew up listening to Judy Garland, technically.
Yeah, never cared for her that much.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say Karen Carpenter. I think she has an incredible voice. Wood said Judy Garland. So now we've got, oops. Get that. There we go. Beyonce versus Debbie Harry. G-Webs.
Beyonce.
One for Beyonce. Oh, and Justin Grimm.
Even though she sucks, she sings better than What's-Her-Face, who only can sing one song.
Justin Grimm had said Karen Carpenter. Gary.
Debbie Harry.
One for Debbie Harry. Wood said Debbie.
Call me.
Oh, I'm going to have to say just voice-wise, Beyonce. I couldn't tell you any Beyonce songs. I like Blondie, but Beyonce has a better voice, I think.
Put a ring in it or something like that?
Don't have a clue.
Put your finger in it, something like that.
I'll bet you Debbie Harry could kick her ass on a fair fight.
Well, yeah.
I think so. I'll bet you Beyonce can kick the crap out of people.
Yeah, with her entourage. See how she do on her own.
Well, yeah, she definitely has a lot of people also, but I mean, just by herself, I bet you she'd be pretty good. But I think Debbie Harry has probably gotten a couple of fights too.
Oh yeah. I think she
Wood
grew
said
up in New York City.
Debbie was
Debbie had
playing with stuff like that, though. She would have played with it if she had it back in the day, right?
Mhm.
so now Ann Wilson versus Aretha Franklin.
Heart.
G Webb said Hart. I think that would make a good final.
Well, it's gonna be tough now.
Yeah, this one, the next one, both are tough.
Gary.
Ann Wilson.
I would not listen to anybody on this list. Like if I had my choice, I would turn the dial on almost everybody on this list. Also,
Ozzy said Wilson. Justin Grimm said Hart.
well, no, I'd leave a Heart song on. So Heart's probably the only thing I would even listen to on this list anymore.
Wood said Franklin all day.
Barracuda.
I think I'm. Oh, this is a really tough one, but I'm gonna go Ann Wilson. And that's almost a 50-50 toss-up, I think. Wood said he agrees he would turn it. So now Linda Ronstadt versus Adele. G Webbs.
Same thing. I live in Tucson. I have to pick Linda Ronstadt.
What for Linda? Gary.
She's from here, evidently, and like is cool. So everybody loves her. Everybody in real life loves her. Everybody who knows her loves her, and then everybody who's like aware of what she does for this town and people and stuff likes her. I think she's probably one of the better people as far as celebrities go.
Who's that?
Linda Ronstadt. I don't think I've ever heard anything negative about her.
Hopefully not. I believe she's deceased. I'm gonna go with Adele.
One for Adele. Justin Grimm said Stairway to Heaven tribute was awesome. It was. Well, we talked about that in the after chat last week. Wood said Adele. Ozzy said Adele. I'm gonna go Adele. I think Adele has a little more power. That pushes it for a little bit for me. So I'll go Adele. So Mariah Carey versus Karen Carpenter. G Webbs.
Mariah Carey.
One for Mariah Carey.
Linda
Gary.
Ronstadt's still alive for what it's worth.
And we've only just begun to vote for Karen Carpenter.
She's 78. She's still alive.
Who?
Linda Ronstadt.
Really?
At least according to the Wikipedia.
Wood said Adele is more talented than anyone in the
That's
field
why.
if it's just voice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She can't sing anymore, though. She's got some
She's got
disease.
something wrong with her throat.
Yeah, that's what I read. Okay.
Ozzy said Carey. Oh, I'm going to go Karen Carpenter. Yeah. So now we've got Beyonce versus Ann Wilson. G-Webs.
Hart.
One for Ann Wilson. Gary.
And Wilson.
And Wilson. And I think I'm going to go with Ann Wilson also. Ozzy said Wilson.
Only because Wilson Phillips wasn't on this list.
Hang on. Oh. So Adele versus Karen Carpenter. G-Webs.
Adele.
Adele. One for Adele. Gary.
Adele wins this one.
Adele. I'm going to vote Karen Carpenter. But Adele moves on and Wilson moves on. If Adele hadn't lost the weight, this would be a battle of the heavyweights.
Well, you definitely couldn't call Karen Carpenter a heavyweight.
No. That's what killed her.
Yep.
It's her anorexia.
Yep.
Mr. Bob said Karen was a drummer too. She was a very good drummer.
She's a world-class drummer.
So, G-Webs, Ann Wilson or Adele?
Hart.
One for Ann Wilson. Gary.
I'm going to go with Adele.
Ooh, one for Adele.
You make the decision.
Ozzy said Wilson overall. They are both very good singers, and they both have very strong voices.
They're both on my playlist, so.
I guess I'm going to go Ann Wilson. And that's mainly because I only know one Adele song. So I don't have a lot of experience with her voice. And
she could have had it all.
I've listened to a lot of Heart. So Ann Wilson is the winner. Vanessa Kitty said none of the above.
How about Nancy Wilson? She could sing too.
Oh, so
mostly sang backup, but
if there's any complaints with this bracket, feel free to fire up your own bracket and do it your way and see how it comes out. Yeah. Ann Wilson is one of my favorite female singers. My favoriteest is Anne Murray. Like, I know it's kind of saccharine, sweet lyrics and stuff for her songs, but I like her voice.
And you only like singers with the first name Anne.
Yeah, I don't know. What other female singers are, God damn it, are named Anne?
Lennox.
Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
I do like Annie Lennox.
Hold on. Female singers named Anne.
He's cheating. He's cheating.
Well, Anne Murray comes up the top of the list. Let's see. Surely there's some others. Annie Lennox, Ann Shelton, Ann Wilson.
Wood said my buddy and I got our ass beat by the Wilson sisters bodyguard in like 92, my buddy rode his skateboard into the Fat Wilson on 3rd and Union in Seattle. And Justin Grimm just said Murray. Oh, I was kind of an Eddie Murray fan.
Who?
Eddie Murray.
The baseball player? Okay.
Yeah. I was also a Fred Murray fan.
There's a Julie Andrews vote out there. Wow.
Julie Andrews. Yes, I did like Julie Andrews.
Now it's going to be like the off-air last week, where everybody was just talking about female singers for hours and hours and hours.
Can't believe Streisand wasn't on that list.
Yeah, I can. I will say Streisand would be on that list when Celine Dion is on that list.
How many people on that list are pro-gun? Big zero.
Grace Slick.
She's a gun person?
She back in the
I'm not talking
90s.
about in the James Bond movies.
No, that's wrong. Wrong, Grace.
I think
she owned a shotgun.
I believe Courtney Love was pro-gun. But...
Ouch.
Yeah, Grace Slick kind of went crazy, and for some reason, the sheriff's deputies went to her property, and she met them at the gate with a shotgun, and asked them to leave. Other than that, I don't know. Justin Grimm said Joan Jett. I do like Joan Jett, but I didn't put her on the list because I don't. Her voice, just her voice, isn't as good, but I do like her singing.
You didn't like Bonnie Tyler either.
Most of the
Avril Lavigne.
I couldn't tell you any of her songs or what she sounds like. So
Alanis Morissette, Britney Spears.
I liked Jagged Little Pill, but her voice is not that great. Like Cass Elliot, I really like Cass Elliot, but she has a lisp, and I hear that lisp when she sings, and it kind of. I have a lisp, which, when I was a little kid, I had to go to the speech therapist during school, which I hated, so I could say scissors properly.
That's
'Cause I had
probably
a
what
really
caused
bad
her to
lisp.
choke on that ham sandwich.
Well, that was not true. She didn't choke on a ham sandwich.
It was the bone in this ham in the sandwich.
There's a little too much pig snout in it. Got stuck.
Actually, that's a story that her publicist spread because they didn't want to give the true reason why. At least that's what I've heard anyway.
That's what I've heard.
Justin said you kicked Alanis out because she's Canadian. Well,
Yeah, we had the Terrafer.
Well, Anne Murray's Canadian.
I
He loves
she
Anne
has
Murray.
yeah. Never said I'm not a hypocrite.
Let's see. Who else did we miss? Anybody? Well, I know somebody was lobbying for Dolly Parton. But I can't remember who.
I was.
I do like Dolly Parton, but not all that much. And it's, I mean, she seems like a really, really great person. She's really funny, but I'm just not in the country.
Oh, Crystal Gale.
She does bluegrass. Bluegrass ain't country.
I would have put Crystal Gale on there before Dolly Parton. I have a good night, Mr. Bob. Vulcan Rumble said Barbara Streisand wasn't even mentioned. And Whitney Houston got no votes. Wow. Yeah, Barbara Streisand would not be on this list. No Mecca Streisand.
There can be people that are so anti-gun that I won't even listen to them. I don't care how good a song they sing. But they also happen to sing songs I could care less about, so it works out pretty good. Who has more gold records than Elvis?
I think he's talking about Dolly.
Well, she has more gold records than Elvis because she's been around longer. Elvis quit making records and went underground, told everybody he's dead. He might be making records for other people under different names, but we don't know it anymore. So
Yeah, Streisand. That's who I thought he was talking about. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll just say no thank you. No.
Yeah,
No,
she
thank
hates guns so bad I wouldn't even listen to one of her songs if you paid me. Well, okay, if you paid me, I'd listen to it, I guess. If anybody wants to pay me to listen to whoever that person is, get my PayPal.
How about Bette Midler?
No. She does
No?
not have
Not
a great
a
voice.
chance.
She does
Never.
not have a great voice.
She's like the Whoopi Goldberg of singers.
Pretty much. I mean, kind of before
She's standing there with everybody else, but
Wind Beneath My Wings, kind of all her stuff were comedy songs.
and her comedy is anti-gun. He didn't put Shirley Manson on the list. He hates garbage.
Hates cranberries. He already told me that. So.
Yep,
No, I did not say I hate cranberries.
Didn't say on the list.
What? There's only 16 spots, so somebody's gonna have to get left out.
We need to start doing 32 slots.
Probably never.
They make them. You can flip it to 32. I think you can flip it to 64, can't you?
I think I closed the window. I don't have it open.
I got it right here.
Oh. 16. Yeah, you can go up to 32.
I know it was bigger than I could ever even figure out what to do for 32. I would do 32 the other way, though, where Matt does them sometimes. It's on this system, I think. I don't remember where to change them. But you can get it where they go to the middle instead of going to the right. You know, they start on both sides big and they narrow down to the middle. I don't know if there's a name for that. It probably is. But I would do it like that for 32.
Oh.
Let's see.
Timer Creek.
Back in the day, Roberta Flack. Let's see. Who else?
Yeah, I don't think you can do it on this one.
He doesn't like Diana Ross. He already told me that.
Well, she's not. She doesn't have a great voice. She was more of a she had it kind of singer.
Ronnie Spector.
I liked Ronnie's. I liked the Ronnie and the Ronettes.
Dusty Springfield. Let's see. Now we're going way back.
I liked Son of a Preacher Man. And she, oh, did she sing? Let me see. Yeah, Wishing and a Hoping was Dusty Springfield.
Mm-hmm. Jeannie C. Riley.
Oh, who's that?
Harper Valley PTA.
Oh, well, I like the song, but that's her one song.
How many Carpenter songs can you name?
Offhand,
Mm-hmm.
probably none. I know when I hear the songs, I know the songs, but I couldn't tell you what they're called. Garage Guy's out there.
Wow.
Always something there to remind me. Close to you.
We've only just begun.
Another song. End of the song. Aurora. Beechwood benediction. Bless the beasts and the children. Boat to sail. Breaking of
Rainy
charges.
Days and Mondays.
California dreaming. Can't smile without you. They should put it in a list of like which ones are actually their songs, not just songs that they've sung.
Well, they covered a lot of stuff too. Yeah.
Do you know The Way to San Jose?
Well, they had their
That's
own
okay.
variety show for a year or two, also.
Well,
Oh yeah, you
God.
didn't have Cher on this list.
Yeah,
No,
she
not
wouldn't be on that.
I'll Never Fall in Love Again. That's
Whitney
Carpenter.
Houston's aunt, Deborah Warwick,
Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. Her
Ooh, there's-
version of "Do You Know the Way to San Jose?"
Oh yeah. There's DJ. Mr. Music is out there.
What up?
I still can't believe you didn't have Macy Gray on that list.
Well, there's a lot of people you can't believe
Or
weren't on
Tracy
that list.
Chapman.
No, not Tracy.
Rainy Days and Mondays.
They always bring me down.
Sometimes. Walk on by. That's it.
A garage guy wants to know what have I walked into.
the remnants, the after effects of a
Post
girl
bracket
singer
slump.
bracket.
Yeah, what could have been the hit parade of female singers? What could have been?
It was a little harder to put together the female singer list versus when I did the male singer list.
That's what she said.
Hillbilly's out there. He woke up to go to the bathroom. See, you're still on. That's kind of half the people that tune in,
It's a drive-by show. Yeah.
pretty much. But I'm happy to have you. I don't know if it's just I'm a misogynist, so for whatever reason, it was a little harder to put together the female singer list.
Bonnie Raitt.
I don't know what your occupation as a misogynist has to do with it.
Bonnie Raitt, I like it. I like her singing, but her voice wouldn't match up.
Well, if you want, let's see, Beverly Sills. If you're wanting an opera singer. Trying to think, did we name them all? Maybe we did. Maybe we named every female singer out there. I doubt.
Sonny
DJ
Guns.
wants to know what the criteria is.
Loosely, the criteria was just based on the voice alone. Kind of more of a pure voice.
The criteria was the ones that Foss liked.
Kind of, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the way all the brackets are.
That doesn't explain Bernie 5.
So for people that showed up late,
I didn't say I'm picking the winners. I'm just saying those that are in the bracket.
so for people that showed up late, they did the bracket with dude singers last week, and then after the off air, spent 4 hours off air saying female singers to make a list, and then
I think it should be child singers next week.
No.
Especially child singers that appeared on TV shows. I mean, you could get your Michael Jacksons, your Osmonds in there.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson, your Partridge Family, David Cassidy. Does he even rank in there, you know? Sure, there's others.
So then,
well, then Hannah Montana would have to be in there too.
Yeah, as soon as you go to Disney, they had a mill where they would make kids into movie stars and singers, right? Like a whole bunch of the people that you had on this list were from Disney.
Yeah, there were a lot of bunch of 90s.
The first was a Mickey Mouse Club, like
where Britney Spears came from, technically.
Yeah, and then Britney Spears and a whole bunch of other people like Christina
Justin
Aguilera,
Timberlake, yeah.
all of them came from Disney
Annette
shows.
Funicello.
Oh yeah,
right.
Vintage.
Disney's a machine.
Of course, if you got Judy Garland in the list, you almost have to have her daughter, Liza Minnelli.
Liza is not as good a singer.
But she hates guns just as much as her mom.
Garage Guy said Wendy O. Williams. It's My Life was decent. I don't know her. I don't know who she is. Hillbilly said Wayne Newton. I'm not sure why he said Wayne Newton.
I'm not either.
Oh, for kids.
Oh, he's probably saying
Yeah,
Fig.
because Wayne Newton was on like variety shows when he was, God, in his teens, if not younger. He's kind of a chubby, husky, we'll say husky little kid. Justin Grimm said the Osmonds,
Ooh,
Woods,
yeah.
Partridges.
Boy bands. Shit, yeah. New Kids on the Block, NSYNC.
Hillbilly's asking LL Cool J from Disney. I don't know. I didn't think so. Oh, God, what's his face? Rapper. He was on a Canadian show, Something High. He played a kid in a wheelchair.
Degrassi Junior High.
Yeah.
That's where What's Her Face comes from too. Alanis Morissette.
Well, Alanis Morissette was on. You can't do that on television.
Okay, she might have. Am I wrong about her being on Degrassi?
She was.
Maybe it was just on
Degrassi.
Nickelodeon. Okay. Well, there was another show. There was the real Degrassi, and then there was the fake Degrassi. There was Degrassi High or something, and then there was Degrassi Junior High or something like that. But there was the real one, and then there was the second one. Depends on how old you are and when you got Nickelodeon.
Drake was on Degrassi High. Degrassi and the Next Generation. So maybe that's the other one that you're thinking of.
Yeah, it could be. Because I didn't watch the one for younger kids.
I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah, I think the one I was watching was still like, well, I can't remember if I was a little kid watching it or if I was older watching it.
Juice
DJ.
Newton. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
King of Hearts. Plasmatics, the DJ said. Oh, that's the Wendy Williams. That's Plasmatics. I don't know. I was thinking more something like band related because we did individuals. So then I was thinking that if we did another music one, maybe something to do with a group, but I'm not sure.
Best albums, best concerts, longest runs. Most epic concerts or something. Most epic shows or something.
Well, how do you put that in the bracket, though? Because most likely nobody has been to that show, whatever that show was.
Yeah, but if you compare like Woodstock or something, like nobody went to Woodstock, so maybe Gizzard. How old were you at Woodstock?
9.
See, he could have gone there technically. I don't think I was born yet, so some of us couldn't go there. But anyway, you know what I mean? There's like some things like, I don't know, just thinking of concerts that people know about that they've never been to. Yeah, why is it got to keep being songs? Songs aren't even guns. Unless he did best gun in a video.
That's probably going to be too tough, too difficult to.
Because there's a whole group of people that never even watch videos, right? Like if you're born after the 90s, why would you watch music videos anymore?
Well, yeah, because like Janie's got a gun. What gun did she have? If you tell me what gun it is, well,
There's no gun in that whole video.
I know, but I'm just saying. I would prefer it to be something that hopefully most people would know or is familiar with. That's kind of what I try to do. That's why I leave some things out, add some things in, just to kind of shape it to where the majority of people will kind of know what it is that's on the list.
Anybody watching The Reacher, the new Reacher, season 3 of Reacher?
Not yet. I probably will, but I haven't started yet. I'm still working my way through the old Star Wars Rebels cartoon.
Somebody recommended something somewhere, and I watched that. Oh, it was Sarge recommended American something. Did you watch that ever, Gizzard?
Let's say again.
In the off air after your Monday show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sarge was saying to watch this one show, American something, American. Crap, I forgot it already. American Prolific or. I can't remember what the name of it is now.
I don't remember.
As I said, I remember asking my mom to take me to Woodstock. She said no. I told her I was going to walk. We lived in KC at the time.
Bit of a walk.
Wood said best gun in a TV show. Has that been done? I don't know. Has Ron Wayne done that on one of his brackets?
Probably.
I was thinking he might have, but I can't remember.
Best gun in a TV show has been done for sure. What's the name of that show, Hillbilly? It's like pro something, and I can't think of the word.
Justin Grimm said American Primeval.
Primeval, yeah, that's the one. What is Primeval? I thought it was like dinosaurs, but it must mean like knights in armor.
That's medieval.
That's medieval. Yeah, I don't know what Primeval means. But anyway, did you watch that show, Gizzard? I'm guessing
No.
It's just a show to watch. It's 5 pieces, I think, or it was pretty long, but it was all right. It was worth watching. It was fake, but it's the. Oh man, have you seen? What's the name of that one about South Dakota? Blackwood? No. Blackheart? No. Dodge City? No. Something about South Dakota. And it's like a town in South Dakota in the old days, in the gold mine days. Blackwood? No. Dang, why am I having such a glitch with trying to remember the name of these shows? Deadwood. You ever seen Deadwood, the TV show?
No.
Oh, snap. It's a really, really good show. Well, I think it's good. About South Dakota when they discover gold and then they made it a reservation and then they're kind of like, dang it, we just gave the reservation all this gold. Well, how do we change that or something like that? And it's like this little town that was made right next to where they're trying to find gold and everything. and then there's like a whorehouse or something, and it's one of these shows where there's like so many cast members you have to keep up with, like so many different storylines or something, whatever they call that, and then it covers an amount of time, like a number of years. So Deadwood's a pretty good show if you like really getting into a show and having a lot of um, uh, scenery and like, what do they call that? Like, the costumes and the characters and everything. Like, there's a lot to it. It was a pretty good Western, I guess. And yeah, thanks for Deadwood. Everybody's saying Deadwood. I would call this American Primeval similar to Deadwood, but if you've never seen Deadwood, then you're not going to get the comparison. I can't think. There's got to be another show that was like it, but I guess like imagine putting, like the Clint Eastwood late westerns of Clint Eastwood, where they're kind of authentic looking, and that's part of the coolness of the movie. But then they're also written well. It's like that. Anyway, I'd highly recommend it. I mean, I'd say I highly recommend it, I guess.
Pink Panther's out there.
Oh, snap.
He said he was over on Rumble and came over here. Are
you on Rumble right now?
Yeah, Rumble and X.
Oh, snap.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I did tell my wife that if I don't go to Nebraska in October, then I might go to Vegas in January.
Well, yeah. Well, then you better start getting your shit together so that you make it a smooth situation instead of waiting until October.
Well, I'm yeah, but I don't know for sure. I don't know. I just don't know.
Unless Gizzard or somebody just has you go as their cameraman, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty easy.
Yeah, you pretty much don't have to worry about it, actually. Unless you want to go by yourself, you know enough people, you don't have to worry about it.
I don't know. I actually almost applied for the last one just to do it, to see what would happen. But
well, what's going to happen is they're going to tell you no unless you have like basically two things. We'll tell you off air just so I don't tell everybody. But there's like only two things that they really look at. And then once you got those two things, they're like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's your pass.
Yeah. So, oh, wow. Well.
So we're definitely having a bracket next week, and the real question is just what the bracket's going to be about.
To be determined.
Going to check out the museums this time. Sweet. Hanging out with Marco, I assume.
But I don't know. You got anything coming up, G-Webs? Did you end up doing your chat today?
Oh no, I fell asleep. I was like, oh good, I got like 2 hours before the chat or whatever. I'm going to set it all up because the times have changed now. So instead of being 2 hours to the East Coast, it's 3 hours. We're like on your time zone now.
Yeah.
So this starts at 11 and stuff. So I'm like, oh okay, I got everything set up and everything ahead of time, and I'm not waiting until the last minute. Good. I'm going to go take a nap. And then I woke up 4 hours after the show was over. I woke up right at the beginning of Brooke's show. So I totally just slept through it today somehow.
Oh, because I'll usually go to bed right about when your chat starts, and
we're going to
went
try
to
to do it
bed
tomorrow at the same time. I think Tony said he's available. So.
Oh, okay.
But now I meant to do it. I set it all up and then fell asleep. It's raining here, and I guess on my sleep schedule is just screwy, or it's been screwy enough that when I lay down to take a nap, I was like, oh, yep, forget it. I'm not listening to the alarm clocks. Or I guess I didn't set an alarm clock. That's the other problem.
So you might do one tomorrow, he said?
Yeah, Tony said he's available, so just do it tomorrow.
So, Gary, how about you? Anything you want to let everybody know about?
Oh, I do this thing on Monday nights, Foul Territory. It's at 9 p.m. Central Time. And that's for everybody. If you're one of my channel members, come by my members only stream. That's Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. And I got some stuff to review. I've got some new knives to review. Plus, I got some coming in the mail. It should be here next week or so. So should have some content out there. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm still. Part of my routine used to be I get home from work in the mornings, Saturday morning, and then I'll listen to the replay, your replay, while I'm setting stuff up for my chat, and now that's all gone. Still haven't gotten used to you not being there Saturday mornings. So, next chat will be next Saturday night. And I'll probably put out a short because I'm going to go to the range. Well, I guess now later in the morning. Buddy's going to come down and we're going to head out to the range. So I'll take that P320 right there. And we'll shoot it off, see what happens. And I'll probably throw it on the other grip frame that I have and see how that is. So maybe post a short or two about that. And there is a picture of it on the community tab. Just before the chat, I clicked a picture of it so you can see it there. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good rest of the night and go do something good.